Hello everyone, got some more gaming news for you today, this time looking at Netflix, more specifically obviously Netflix Games, which was launched in November of 2021. This wasn't really like that big, so some of you might not know, but Netflix do have a gaming division. They acquired 4 gaming studios and then internally built up 2 other studios, so that makes 6 in total. The 2 internal studios were called Team Blue, and then Helsinki, I think, or Helsinki, I think is how you pronounce it. And then they also, they acquired Night School, Boss Fight, Next Games, and Spryfox, which they still own. They made several mobile games and Netflix integrated games for people who have a paid subscription. But the internal team, known as Team Blue, which was comprised of some pretty big names, such as Joseph Staten from the Halo series. One of the producers on Overwatch was part of the team. And then also art director Raphael from God of War. There's tons more really like high profile gaming names in there. But they closed it down. This studio, Team Blue, just got shut down, as reported by Variety 4 hours ago, and Netflix have refused to comment on reasons as to why they shut down this studio. But yeah, they were focusing on producing AAA games under the Netflix banner. And it seems like, for whatever reason, Netflix has just abandoned the AAA gaming space. Sources by Variety say that Netflix is not interested in pursuing PC or console-specific game development. The closure of Team Blue indicates that it's of no interest anymore to Netflix, but they have released over 100 mobile-like games so far, so it seems like that's what they want to carry on doing. I'm not sure how successful those are. Personally, I've never even seen them. But if they're looking at the data and seeing that those are actually being successful in doing things such as keeping retention and keeping people on the Netflix application, then maybe that's just where they want to put more of their resources. It's worth noting that all the hires that were in Team Blue are no longer at the studio. Which sucks, especially for Joseph Staten, because obviously one of the original creators of the Halo franchise, and then obviously came on board to help 343 with the creative direction of Halo Infinite, leading to the final year of development, and then stayed along for about 1 year after as well. In total, according to his LinkedIn profile, he was at 343 for 2 years and 7 months. And before that, he was very high up at Microsoft for 7 years almost. He was the creative director at Microsoft after joining them from Bungie when he left after co-creating Destiny. So he's had a pretty successful career, but recently, over the past sort of, let's say, 4 years, seems to have struggled to find himself a home that'll have a long tenure at. He's kind of bounced around between Microsoft, 343, and now Netflix. And it's sad to see that, under Netflix, he seemingly didn't have any published games. He was there for 1 year and 7 months. His job description was building brand new AAA multi-platform games and original IP. And only 2 months ago, he was making LinkedIn posts saying that they have big ambitions for narrative-based games at Team Blue, and they need great people to help them, and he was posting job listings 2 months ago. So really curious if this story kind of unfolds more and we find out exactly why Netflix has shut it down. Who knows? Maybe they were developing something similar to failed AAA titles we've seen on the market recently. Maybe they've seen how, quite a lot of games recently have been flopping, namely Concord and anything developed by Ubisoft over the past 10 years. And as I said earlier, it just seems like their focus is more on the mobile thing and also porting as well. They actually offer some already published games like Football Manager, Minesweeper, Snake, Battleship. But then also like GTA, so Vice City, San Andreas and GTA 3 are also playable on Netflix, part of a library of over 100 games as part of your Netflix membership. So maybe they're just looking at targeting games that are already successful and therefore are not really any risk, and porting them over to the Netflix platform and making them potentially multi-device compatible. And just, yeah, looking at that along with their internal mobile projects as well. Just decided to do a bit of research. I was going to end this video pretty early on, only 5 minutes, but I just decided to have a quick look around, and apparently according to a site called Indie 100, in July, GamesIndustry.biz reported that the co-CEO and president of Netflix described gaming as a huge market for Netflix, and according to him, without advertisement revenue, Netflix games has generated almost $150 billion, which is very good. So yeah, it seems those little mobile games in the ports are actually working out very well for Netflix. And yeah, maybe they don't see the risk in going for AAA live service or even story-based narratives that cost, you know, hundreds of millions to make. And maybe that's a smart decision. You know, I think the AAA space and those high-budget games are slowly becoming less and less popular, are failing, and people now these days are looking more for your arcade and indie style games and anything that would class itself as AA. And apparently it's not just revenue where these games are helping, they're also helping in engagement and retention on the Netflix app. As I suspected earlier, that would be a big reason to put games on there. Companies like this, streaming companies, care about how long you spend on that app. Many companies do. It's all about keeping retention and making sure people stay on your app rather than bouncing somewhere else. And according to Netflix, their engagement on the app tripled after they released the Grand Theft Auto series. So, it does seem to have worked. And obviously, yeah, GTA was their most successful and most installed game on the platform. So yeah. They also gained 13 million new paid subscribers in the fourth quarter of the last financial year. So it's working. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's probably a smart move to stick with what's working and not risk anything in the AAA space. To be honest, I can't blame them for backing out looking at what's happening right now. It just sucks for those devs and people like Jason, but hopefully they land themselves somewhere else. I'm sure they will. They're all high-profile devs. They'll make themselves comfortable somewhere else, I'm sure. That's it. There isn't much else to go off, honestly. It required like 30 to 40 minutes of research just to make an 8-minute video on this. I feel like I've stretched it out too much, so we'll end it here. And I'll see you in the next video, potentially another one on this, if more stuff develops. If not, then, you know, whatever the next one may be. Alright, see you, and goodbye.